Good evening, folks. Welcome. Good evening. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll see you later. Right, what have we got tonight? We've got a Marconiphone record player. I don't know what the model is. I haven't looked at it yet. Let's just get prepared for looking at the chat and stuff. Alright, well, we've got nobody on yet, but people will come on. And I've got a guy coming at 7:30. Wants me to look at an inverter for him. I don't really repair inverters, but he's also got a record player for me as well. So, yeah, so should we lift it up? See what we've got? Right. And well, this looks ominous. The inspection panel is removed. Yeah. The cartridge wires have all been pulled down. There's no cartridge. Although all the lugs are still there, that's good. No cartridge in this unless it's inside. There's no screws unless they're in there with it. Right, so yeah, looks like we've got looks like we're working on a shitter. We're working on a shitter. It's definitely a shitter. So we'll undo that. You've obviously got the screws at home. This is I believe this could be valve, but it's not. It's transistorized. This. I'm going to say it's transistorized. Oops. Just clip the motor leads because I always clip them. It's easier. Oh. There we go. I can lift the changer straight out then. That gets the changer straight out. Now, let's go to camera 4 and why have we got why is it like that? Oh, it's camera 1. Thought there was something wrong there. Right, camera 4. There we go. Oh. Right, and this is, well, that's certainly not, oh yeah, it is valve. I was going to say that's certainly not a valve, but it is. That is valve. There's a valve lurking about up there. So we need to get the amplifier out because we need to work on him. But we've also got a transformer in there as well, which is good. So it's not just a shitty thing with no bloody transformer in it. Let's just see what this message is. Right, so what we need to do is we're going to, I don't know whether it's service to changer. The state of play on the cartridge. I'm not putting a cartridge in because I don't have any spare. So we're going to get this working, and he'll have to find a cartridge himself because I don't have a spare, and sometimes the bloody cartridges are worth more than the goddamn players. So put this stuff away. Right. See how we come apart, because see how we come apart. Yeah, well that's nicely done. All the wires just plug straight onto the output transformer. We'll take a memory jogger of those so we know where all the wires go, because we're going to unplug that lot so we don't have to take the speaker out. That lot is definitely getting unplugged, so we'll take a memory jogger. There we go. So we don't have to worry about them now, we can pull all them wires off. Of the output transformer. That's all good. Let's try and find, we need to get the knobs off. See if we can get the knobs off. See if we can get the knobs out. We've got to come off. Well, that one's coming off where it's could do with a bigger knob, bigger screwdriver really. That one's coming off anyway. There we go. Just drop the knobs into the inside, and if you can't get the knobs off, that's the way to do them. Some people put string around them and rock them. There's nothing wrong with doing that if that's how you want to do it, but there we go. Do 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 do. I mean, these are not seized on, they're just recessed, which is a bit of a pain in the arse really, but we've got them. Now what we need to do is get the amplifier out. And this all unplugs, I mean, yeah, like I say, I've got somebody coming this evening to see me. Well, I've put finish a twist in the tool drawer. Yeah, so we've got anybody on here yet? Probably all scoffing your tea. Don't blame me for that. Nothing wrong with that. Right, so what we'll do next, we should, yeah, be able to get under there. This has been undone because they're not tight. Yeah, this has been undone before. Is that the clip for the turntable? No, it's just a mark on the case. There we go, that's that one off. Now let's move that. Now, let's see if we can the other one is Christ. I would have to take the fucking lid off. I'm going to have to take the fucking friggin' lid off. Right, that's the other one. Well, it's still on the end of that. I think. Is that undone? Don't even know. Don't even know if I got that. Yeah, the nut's inside there. Yeah, the nut's inside there. Yeah, I can see the nut. That's alright because we'll get that out. What I'll do, get the screwdriver. There we go. Now, got to find the bloody top one now. Let's put it back on all views because you're not seeing anything there really. There we go. Let's turn it round. Yeah, but somebody's had a good play with this one, I'm afraid. This is because all the fixings are loose. And there's the other nut way up in the top there. And I don't even know if I'm on it there. Yeah, I am. Yeah, the whole amp's moving. Yep, there's a nut. Let's get the screw. Get the screwdriver and we'll pull it out like we did with the other one. Pull the amplifier clear. Right, so what have we got in there now? What's caught? What's not letting us out? We're caught up somewhere. Right, let's. Right, something's stopping us. What the fuck's holding it there? We're out. Right. It is that there. The black and the blue on the input. The black and the blue. So, and they've been soldered. The orange is coming up, that'll come off. Green, blue, I think the blue and that's the blue. And we've got that one there, which has been soldered. So we might have to clip that one. We're going to have to clip that. Clip that and have to join that. Now, where we got now? Got a black one there, and that's the one that's been freaking soldered. You know, just when you think that everything's going right, right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to clip that there. Let's see what we can do. See what we can. The reason why that's been done is because what they've done, they've soldered the wire for that ground I've just clipped to the same bloody place. Let's see if I can heat this and get the pliers. We're just trying to get what do you call a wire off at the moment. And if we can't, we'll just clip the bloody thing. I mean, the wire there's come off, that's what we wanted off. But we also want the plug off as well. That's it. Now we should be able to withdraw the amplifier. Let's get the tools out because we may need those. Get the tools. Knobs, screws, all that lot can be left in there. Now, we should have no problem. There we go. They're only inputs, so it doesn't really worry me about where they go. Because they're only inputs from them sockets at the front, and they're self-explanatory anyway. Right. So what we'll do now, we'll put the amplifier there. Put them in there. Put that there. There we go, he'll do. Right, let's just have a quick look at the chat, see how everyone's doing. Have a sip of my brew first, actually. Right. So, how are we all doing? David Allison, good evening, and good evening, Patrick. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you guys on and watching. Absolutely, right. So what we'll do then, we'll get out the testicles meter. Right, where is she? Where's Rita the meter? Where are you, Rita? You there somewhere? Where are you hiding? Here she is, Rita the meter. There we go. Yeah. Yep. And she'll be able to tell us a whole lot. Right. This is actually quite a well made amp. It's full wave rectification. Not just a standard diode, not just standard single wave, half wave even. It is full wave, which is good to see. Our capacitor is made by Daily, and it's red 32, white, yellow 32, ground. Yes, it's 300 volts DC. Working. Made in the UK. And we have a proper output, we have a proper power transformer on here. So it's not a, and it's an ECL, I don't know, ECL 80 something, because it could be an ECL 86 or ECL 82, because part of the number's missing off the valve. And there's a fly in here. Not a lot of capacitor work to be done on this. The main smoother, yes, we'll replace that. That'll get replaced, because we always do on valve sets. We didn't on that solid state one yesterday. There was nothing wrong. We'll change this one here. This will be your grid. So we'll replace that. We'll check resistors for tolerance. We'll clean the controls, and the nice thing about this, look at how, look at flying me hair. The nice thing about these are all these wires. They're all basically colour coded. You can't get wrong where they go. The two blacks go at either end. The orange and the green go here, and the blue goes here. No worries. And they only go to controls anyway. They're only going to inputs. And there's your what do you call it, going to your deck. You coming from the grid, from the volume control, which eventually ends up at the grid of your valve. So it's got 1328 on the chassis. I don't know whether it's the model or the whatever. Right. We don't know whether I'm going to replace this. Probably not. They're usually alright. Metal rectifiers in these full wave ones are usually alright. Don't usually have problems with them. I will if I can find a bridge. I'm not making up diodes, but I will if I can find a bridge. That'll go in there. If I find a bridge that'll go in that space, then I'll put a silicon one in it. And it's easy enough. Transformer in. Yeah, that's your plus, and that's your minus. Easy enough. Bass and treble on this model as well. Now what we'll do, we'll check. Now what we'll do now, we'll check to see if we've got any voltage on our smoother. I don't expect there to be any. So we're gonna nothing. So what we'll do, we'll get our high voltage capacitors out. We will check that capacitor, but we're replacing it anyway. I mean, it's coming to be serviced, and like I say, I don't really bother changing them in solid state unless there's an obvious issue. Like the one I did yesterday, there wasn't an obvious issue, so we didn't do any capacitors in that one. There was no need. It plays absolutely beautifully. It's ready to go back to the guy. So we want two 32s. We've got two 22s. We're going to have to Yeah, we've got two 22s. Can't put them. I'm not putting them in. We've got two. I'm going to have to put an order in for some more. I'm running out. Let's get some more of these. We've got a 47. We can put those in it. They'll work. They'll be okay. It'll make it just smooth it a little bit better because the rectifier will be able to handle what I'm doing. So. Right, it might not be a long live stream tonight, but yeah, we want to, and I don't think we're going to do a restuff. You never know though. So what we'll do, we'll join these together. Get them together. Wrap that wire around there. I wish I had one of them wire wrapping tools. I could do with getting one of them. It's not something I would use all the time, but it's something I would use if it was there. Now and again. I probably would use it all the time actually. Whoops. There we go. And good and tight. I mean, to be honest with you, I could put that in. I could put that in and I don't even have to solder that. That is that tight. But, whoops. Given that this is vintage electronics repair, we do solder everything in. Because that's the way it's supposed to be done. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of wire wrapping. And I think personally it causes more problems than it solves. It's a cheap way of making something. Yeah, that's good. That's the two capacitors made up. There's only two in this one. We've got the third electrolytic, which is there. What's that one? It's going to be 25 volts. 25 UF, I think. Part of the value is missing, but that's not a problem. Won't be 5 UF. Could be 0.5. Let's have a look. Let's get my magnifying glass. That could be 0.5. It could be 0.5. It is, it's a 0.5 microfarad. So, 25 volts, we'll have something that'll go in there. Right. This is not the usual fucking 8 microfarad at fucking 400 fucking volts. Right, I won't be able to restuff that into there because they're not going to fit. So we need to find somewhere to mount those. I'm going to have a look, see where we're coming from. Do you know where we're coming from? Right, so we've got I could put a tag board in, so I could solder in. I could get this soldering gun and I could put a tag board here. Or, yeah. If I replace this rectifier, I'll have an hole spare, so I'll be able to do something there as well. Yeah, I'll have a hole spare for replace that, and that goes into a threaded part of the chassis, so I could use that even. And if I've got a spare, I have to have a look in my bridge rectifiers and see what's in there, because I don't want to mess about wiring 4 diodes up. I don't mind doing these if there's 1 diode, but if there's 4 diodes, I don't want to do that. But I could put the capacitors here on the tag strip, put the, let's go to camera 4 and I can explain what I'm saying. Let's go to camera 4. What my plan is, what my plan actually is move these wires out of the way, we don't need them at the moment. What I'm thinking of doing is take this bridge out, and we've got 2 holes here, put a new bridge in, and I can then put a tag strip here to hold the new capacitors, or I could drill another hole, put the tag strip on the top of the chassis. Yeah, I'd have to put them on the. I don't think there'd be enough clearance, would there? Let me have a look. Let's see. No, that's cutting it a bit fine. No, it's cutting it a bit fine, that. So no, we'll think of some other way. We have got some tag strips and stuff, bits knocking about we can use. What's happening? What's this on the other side here? What's that? That's a volume control. Oh, it's a tone control. One of the two. Right, so what we'll start with. Right, so what we'll start with the 2 blues, we'll take them off, they go together. The blues. Now, let's see how easy it's going to be. I need to get some new sort of soldering iron tips as well, because my tips just about knackered. I'm going to end up having to get me, I need to have a word with Steve, see if he'll pick me some up from CPC. Steve normally gets them for me. It's one out. Yeah. It's getting the other one out. Yeah. I need to get that under there. To get that under there really, because that's where we need to get it out from. There it is. It goes through, and then what they've done, they've bent it over. Might be easier to just snip the bloody thing, but I'd like to keep the wires. Not going to get that off. I'm going to snip that. Not going to get that off. That's going to play me up, that one. So we'll just have to restrip that one. So we'll snip that. right at the end there. We'll do the same with the red. The red and the resistor go to the same point, so that's, yeah, they go together, and the resistor, so we know that. So we'll clip that. There we go. Let's clip the resistor. There we go. Yeah. See if we can. This should just lift up because it's not soldered down, this, apart from to there. Do the other side. Move my bog roll. Right. I might not get this off with this iron, but we'll try it. Might have to get the big guns out. No, we ain't going to get off with that. Tell you what, let's just lift it up there, and it might just break it off. Might just lift it out. There. That's it. There you go. And we won't resolder to there, we'll solder somewhere else. So what we'll do now, we'll check to see. It looks like we've got a lump in it there, so yeah, we need it to be replaced. So let's see what our tester tells us, shall we? And then we'll have a look at the chat. We'll see what our tester tells us. This is the Peak Atlas tester. As you all know, I don't use much other. I do use another tester, but right, so that's 30.95, and it should be 32, so that's all right. And it's 1 ohm ESR. Let's check the other side. Open circuit. No, I don't think it is. And that's 130. I might have tested the same fucking one twice. And that's 26, and there's no ESR, but that would have been probably serviceable, but I change them because they're usually fucked anyway. If not fucked now, they're going to be fucked in a few months, a couple of years or something. So as it's out, it's worth doing. You know, while you're in there, you may as well do it. Let's have a look at the as I said, I don't really bother too much with solid state. Because the voltages are not as high, so it doesn't really trash them the same. Diode delinquents. Hey, hello Simon, hello Harvey. Yeah, we're hey, we've got 5 people in tonight. And that's not bad. Anyway, so what we need to do next is have a look in our junk and try and find some tag strip. I do normally order tag strip, but I haven't had any for a while. The best resource for tag strip is the bottom of record decks. That's really one of the best resources for it. What time is it? Because I've got a fella coming at 8:30. at 7:30. It's only 6:38 or 6:36, so we're all right. The other record player belonging to this fella is in the hallway. Is in the hallway. It's been fixed, and I played a record on it earlier. I'm happy with it. And what next? We need to find a tag strip. Tag strip. Let me have a think. I have seen one, but I can't remember where. But I'm gonna hazard a guess that I'm gonna hazard a, if I need to, I'll nick one off somewhere. But I'd rather not. Let's see what we got here. We've got a little amplifier that's not got one on. What have we got? What do we have? I know I've got some somewhere because I seen them and I thought, oh, I'll put them back because I might need them. Well, they're not in there. I mean, there's not a problem if I don't find any, because I will find some. There are some in here somewhere because I see them. Let's have a look in this box here. Nope, not in, not a sausage. But that being said, it's not sausages we're looking for. What's that transistor? I don't know. There's none in there either. I thought there was one in there. Nope. But we need tag strips because I don't like to do it without them. We've got a little tub here. What's in here? Nope. Right. And I don't think there's any in this roll of the Quality Street tin. Oops. It went and clunked camera 3. I'll straighten that back up in a sec. There we go. Camera 3 is not on anyway. Well, it's on, but we're not actually on it. Nope. Nope, nothing. Oh, hang on. Nope, nothing there. What a bummer. Right. So we need a tag strip. We need a tag strip, folks. And I'm trying to think where I can nick one from. Adrian Selborn, good evening. Good evening, mate, good evening. And hope you're having a good day. Hope you're going to enjoy it. Right, I'll finish, have a sip of my brew. Right, I'll be back in a minute, folks, because I need to take a personal break. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to mute you. Put it on all views. I'm going to mute you while I straighten up camera 3. There we go. I'm going to mute you for a couple of minutes, so I'll be back, don't worry. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back, folks. You know what they say, you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Just have a look at the chat. Where's my glasses? It would help if I put them on, wouldn't it? There they are. Bloody hell. I'm getting past my hair, I need my hair cutting. Hello, Mark. Nice to see you with us tonight. Yeah, hope you enjoy it. Right, so we're still looking for a piece of tag strip. So we still want a piece of tag strip so we can fit these new capacitors. Because they're not going to fit. I did consider restuffing. What about this one here? That won't fit into the original hole, so that won't fit. That's way too big, so I can't use that. There's only one thing for it, really. I don't like doing it, but I'm going to have to rob Peter to pay Paul, I'm afraid. We've got a changer here which has got the arm broken, and that's not a problem because it's way down the list. So if I nick the tag strip off this, then we'll just clip the wires. That way I don't make a mess of the wires. Because this has got to be put that up there so we won't lose that, because that's the input wire. We're going to have to keep that. And just snip them off there. Get the screw, and this is what we'll do. We'll nick the tag strip from this. Then by the time we need to do anything with this, because I've got to rebuild this, because the actual arm, the actual mounting for the arm is actually broken, so I'm going to have to rebuild the deck anyway, so that's not really an issue. Not really concerned about that. Whoops, where's that screwdriver gone? Let's get the screwdriver back. Right, so now we can prepare this to put into this, so we can install these. Just have a quick look at the chat, because I noticed it's multiplied by a few. Good evening, psychedelic xylophone. Yes. Hello, Farty. Oh, well. Yep. I do it a lot. I won't admit. I won't deny that. I do. I can't even answer that, because I do. I do, and everybody knows. There you go, you see. So what we're going to do next? We're going to we're going to clean these up. We'll use the middle for the ground, I think. Yeah, we will. We're going to clean these up. Get all the wires off them first and start off with a clean slate. Use the will if I can get the damn wires off. As I say, this soldering iron needs a new tip. There's one off. There's one out. Looks clean. That one's clean. Yeah, well, that one's nearly clean. It's just good enough. Good enough. Then two on the end there are very clean, because I've never had anything soldered to them. Ow, it's a bit warm. And we're going to leave that wire there, because we're going to screw that to the chassis somewhere, and we're going to bring the wires to it. So we need to take that black off there, because we don't want two off because these what went to the record player, to the arm. That bloody fly, I'm going to get my fly killer in a minute. I've still got one there. Get that yellow off because I want all these as clean as possible. Come here. That's it. Clean all them holes out because you never know. You never know if you need them. And if you don't, then it doesn't matter. Clean this top ones here. Oh, they are hot. Ooh, that is hot. Take that off there. There we go. Right. And that is our tag strip prepared. Still got a strand of wire on that one. That's got in. Right, so what we need to do is work out where we're going to put this in relation to, let's get rid of the crap off here, we don't need that. In the bin. In the bin. Right, so let's have a look how we're going to do it. Move the, right, so all the wires I'd like to go down there, but they're not going to, they're going to actually come up, and I can't put it there, and I don't want to really put it there. Right. We've got this here, but I don't want to bring wires right across the chassis. I could, but I don't want to. I think what I might need to do is look at the inside the case. I can't put it. They don't give you a lot of clearance. And I don't think there's a lot of clearance in the top of the case. The only place I can put it is there, and I don't want it. I can't put them on the bottom. And remember, we've got this resistor to go to as well. Right. I might have to add something. Let's just untangle these wires, because these are going to get rerouted. I'm going to reroute these, so I don't mind untangling them. If I need them twisted, I can always twist them back up. So I'm going to look at, right, I can't put them there because the valve's there. Do we go across there? Right. So we've got the red. Let's just move this capacitor up a little bit so I can see down there. Now we've got the red coming through, and the red's going onto the anode of the valve, I believe. Going into there. So I just need to work out somewhere to put this. I might have to put it there. But that being said, I don't need all this. Let's just turn. There we go. I don't need all this. I mean, I could get rid of these two here and only need these three, or I could get rid of one off the end there and one off the end there and only need them two. Them three. So I think that's what we'll do. Watch it shatter. There's a piece of it off. And that's good. Just I'll save that because it will come in handy for somewhere. And what we can do next, we can take the other side here off. Oh, that came off no problem, and it's straight. Pretty much. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. I think that's a bit better, isn't it, folks? There we go. Can put that on there now. I'm not worried about the wires that went to the bottom, although we can put stuff on there. But what the plan is now, we'll turn this round so you can see what I'm doing. See, in the negative, so we get the clippers. Clip that there. Clip that there. There we go. I don't know where my green pliers are, I prefer those. Now we can't go any further down onto the capacitor because of the negative dictates that, how far we can go. So we can come round I'm trying to keep it within view so that you can see what I'm doing, but it's difficult. That's that one on. Just clip this one because it's a bit longer. It doesn't have to be. There we go. If I can just nip that there we go. Perfect. Then that one, which is negative. Right. There you go, folks. So what we'll do, we need to drill. Not going to do it tonight, but we need to put a little hole in here. I'm not going to run the risk of soldering it. I will drill a small hole into the chassis, because I'm not going to run the risk of drilling it. It's just soldering to it. But what we'll do, we'll solder So I don't know whether this amplifier works, don't know if there's any hidden faults, but all I can do is do what I've been asked. Right, I'm going to mount this in that way, because that way I can, or am I? Right, let's have a look at the easiest way of bringing the wires through. I don't think it makes any difference. That one there is going to have to be extended. Them two blues go together. So that can come through here. That can come through there. See my neighbours being a bit thingy again. So, right. And the resistor goes to the red. Yeah, the two blues went together, and that's why I clipped that resistor off there. Got a resistor. I might have a visitor here. Hang on! Alright, yeah, bear with me. I'm back, folks. I just had to speak to somebody that was calling at 7:30. He got here a bit earlier. A friend of mine called Peter, who wants me to look at an inverter for him. But yeah, the sound's not gone. I'll catch up on the chat now and see where we're all singing from the same hymn sheet, are we? Watch Sky News. Live MPs discuss Ukraine in the Oh, no. We don't want that on this channel. Right. Good evening, Mike. I know you're good. Right, that's weird, that, isn't it? I'm sure you'll pick up, Mike. I'm certain of it, mate. You know, I'm sure you'll pick up on it. Sure you'll pick up. I mean, you're an Irishman. You're all noted for being strong. You Irish lads, absolutely. You know, you'll pick up, mate. I'm certain of it. Hope Mrs. Demon is okay. Absolutely. I'm sorry I disappeared for a while there, but I had to. I'm just checking. Yeah, my mum and dad used to say that to me. Do you think I came down the river on a banana boat? And I used to say, yeah. Didn't like it when I said yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you've probably got man flu. You've probably got man flu. But to be on the safe side, Mike, I would go and see your doctor. You know, get a check over. I mean, I don't, you know, well, I'm ill at the moment, but when I was younger, I didn't used to get ill, and doctors were someone else that was someone that other people went to. But as you get older, you find you need them more and more. I've got an appointment with a quack this week, actually. And Harvey's saying, what's Harvey saying? Not really much. Yeah, I've just had another record player given me from the lad who's just been. Yeah. Yes, it does. I think it is an ECL 86 that's in here, but part of the number's missing. But yeah, it's a nicely made amplifier, to be honest. I mean, it's not like the usual dross that you get in a dance set. You know, not like the usual rubbish. No, it's a Marconiphone, which means it'll be made by BRC. BRC or Thorn Consumer Electronics, or EMI. Take your pick. They went under a few names. Don't know who they were under when they made that. Probably BRC. But I've come across a Ferguson 50s player before today that had Thorn Consumer Electronics on it. Then I've come across stuff that's made later that had BRC, and then I've come across stuff that had Thorn on it again. So, anyway, let's get our nose back to the grindstone, shall we, and get this. So what? Oh, hang on. So what we're gonna do? We've worked out what we're gonna do here. Believe it or not, we're actually working stuff out now as we go along. We must be improving. What we're gonna do? We're gonna fasten it to here. We're not gonna solder it because I think soldering it's a pain in the ass and it's not reliable. We're gonna put a miniature. We're gonna drill a hole through here. I don't know where my drills are at the moment. It's a bit late putting a drill on now, so I'm not going to do it now. So that'll be done tomorrow. And we're going to connect what we can do this, because we can do it, you see. And just before we end up with an issue that I didn't see and I've just spotted, let's just click that from there, because that is a ground and it's shorting straight to that live. There we go, gone, dealt with. Because we're using that as a live. So let's put that back in, because that's come out. There we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to solder these here, then they're permanently done, and we'll use the tabs on the bottom there for the wires. And we will put a ground on here and take it to a dedicated ground, so that we don't, if we ever lose contact on here, we've still got a ground and it won't rub its tits off. So we'll solder that there. We'll solder him there. I might have to clean him. Oh no. No, he's okay. Oh no, he's gone on. Yeah, he's alright. Yeah, he's good. There we go. He's gone on, yeah. Yeah, it's just a bit. That's it. Perfect. Right. So that'll go on. So basically what we'll do, we'll solder that into there. We'll solder that. Let's just find something to prop that up with. There we go. Solder that to there, and the red, the resistor has to go to the red. So what we'll do next, we'll come to the chat in a minute, and we'll do let's get me pliers. I might need to lead these in with my pliers. Whoops, knocking the camera everywhere. Let's see if we can get you at a point. There we go. This one might need to be leaded in with the pliers. There we go. That's that one. And then feed that one in. Yeah, I've just been given a record player, it's valve, but I don't know what it is. Not looked at it yet. And put them two into there. Solder and there. That's good. Just soon get that a bit smoother. That'll do. That's them on. That's that on. We've just got the resistor to put on. And what we'll have to do for the resistor, we got a spare wire anywhere? Let's bring a wire. What I was doing for the resistor here, this resistor, which is the surge limiter, is we'll have to first of all check it's okay, and then we'll, what do you call it, we'll bring a wire off the resistor here, bring a wire off here, sleeve that, feed it through, and just connect it to the red, and then that's it. And then we can just drill a hole. Get them out of the way. There we go. We can drill a small hole there. We can drill a small hole there, and that's how our capacitors will fit. That's how we'll fit them. So they'll just fit there exactly, and the amplifier will slide back into its cavity. Do you like that? Slide into its cavity. The amplifier will just slide back into its cavity as normal, and we can put the nuts and everything back in. We've got this little cap here to do. I'll save that for tomorrow. I'll come back on live with this tomorrow. I'm going to shoot off in a minute because there's things I want to do, but I'm going to go in a minute. What have we got on the chat? No, the only reason you don't need Viagra, Harvey, is because you don't have sex. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there we go, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I don't need Viagra either. You only need them when you've got plenty of sex on the go, and I haven't. So, I asked my father about the birds and bees when I was a kid, and the only thing he told me about sex is you won't be getting any. He said, you don't have to worry about it, you won't be getting any. There we go. Anyway, back onto the electronics. So what we're going to do for now, we're going to leave it for now, I think. And we're going to get the drill out tomorrow. Small drill. I think my daughter borrowed my drill, I'll have to ask her for it back. But anyway, we need to drill a small hole. Just there, and we can mount these then, and that'll go in there lovely, and all the wires are out of the way of everything. There's nothing there that can short out. No, everything's clear. Yeah, that's clear. Yeah, everything's clear. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. Yeah, half the valve number on this is missing. But I think it's an ECL 86. It's got to be an 86 or an 82. It's going to be one of those, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day. Yeah. I've got these, I'm going to have a go at these tonight. I got these off the Mildred. Mint humbugs. I like mint humbugs. Mind you, I like anything I can put in my mouth and suck. In boiled sweets, that is. Before anybody gets any funny ideas. You know. That paper back in the bag. Yeah, so yeah, yesterday's live stream went with a bit of a bang, didn't it? Like bloody fly. I'm gonna get my fly killer in a bit fly, and you're gonna be no more. Yeah. I don't take anything, me. Not even for an headache. Many take cocaine as well. Why does cocaine? Why does that work? Am I missing the point here? Does that work as an aphrodisiac? I don't know. I've never tried it. I don't intend to be. Yeah, you probably got a bit of man flu, Mike. You'll be alright. You'll be alright in a day or so, I would think. Yeah. Has it got the silver? Has it got... yeah, I think it has. Yeah. Yeah, there's a metal shield in there, yeah. Yeah, it's an ECL 86. Yeah. But as long as that's working, it doesn't really make much difference on that. As long as the valve's okay. And we're going to have to... I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. You know, because... piss off, you stupid fly. Bloody hell, man. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. Am I going to source a cartridge? Or am I going to let him source his own cartridge? I might leave that. Let him source his own. Yeah, but that guy, my friend Peter, just been round with an inverter for me to look at. And he dropped me a valve record player off a really old thing. He said it just hums when it warms up. So we'll sort that out. That's because that's mine. That'll be further down the list. Don't know what make it is. I haven't looked. But time are we on? Yeah. Yeah, good night, Mike. Say hello to Mrs. Demon for me. Give her my regards. I know you're feeling better soon, my friend. And you take it easy. I'll catch you later, buddy. Right, well, I'm going to end it here, I think, because there's not much else to discuss. I don't know whether this lad wants a turntable servicing for this. He never said. I think he services the decks himself. But he doesn't have it. He hasn't had it not putting the clips back on, so. But that being said, that's not my problem. You know, what do you do when you have to start replacing parts that are not there? You know. But we'll deal with that when we get to it. Not worried about that right now. Main thing is to get the amp working. I don't know whether it did before I took it out. I've got a clue. But yeah, we'll get that sorted out tomorrow. Get a hole drilled into that chassis. Get a nut and bolt or something through that. Get it tight, and I'll also bring a ground off to the main grounds over here as well, so that the chassis is grounded. So that the rectifier is grounded, sorry. So yeah, I'll have a look for a rectifier to replace this if I've got one. I'm not putting 4 diodes together, I can't be bothered. So I'm going to look, see if I've got any bridges. If I've got a full wave bridge, I'll shove one in. If I haven't, then I'll have to put 4 diodes and take the bits out of that and rebuild them into that. So I might end up rebuilding 4 diodes into that, which is what I've done that before. Restuffed a metal rectifier, I've done that before. I did that with the, do you all remember the record cutter? I mean, how can you forget the record cutter? I did a lot of work on that, and I also restuffed. I restuffed the rectifier on that because there was nowhere to put a bloody. I didn't have any bridges available that would work at the voltages. I didn't have any bridges that I thought would do the job at the time, and I didn't have anywhere to mount 4 diodes, and I had no tag strips, so I restuffed it. So I might end up doing that. Just make up the rectifier, and actually I looked on the circuit, and the drawing for the rectifier on the circuit was wrong. It was a mistake. 2 of the diodes were the wrong way around, and because I looked at it and I thought, well, that doesn't look right. Well, that doesn't look right, so I checked it on the net. And then for a third opinion, I rang Steve. It's in my cupboard, that record cutter. That'll stay with me. Not something I would get rid of. Where's my glasses? Let's put me squints back on. There we go. You thought who was going to do a whole repair video and didn't do a part 2? No, don't bother. Yeah. Who never did a part 2 on what? There'll be a part 2 on this. And the deck is the Monarch version, yeah. It's a Monarch version, a grey Monarch version that's found in dance sets. Because brown ones were usually found in black boxes and radiograms. Yeah. I don't do a part 2 if I don't think a part 2 is necessary. Like the one I did last night. I got the whole repair done. One I did yesterday. I got the whole repair done in one video, one live stream. So a part 2 I didn't feel justified because it was only putting the screws back in. And that was done about 4 o'clock this evening. And then the other one was put on the bench. And but yeah, I do a part 2 if I feel it's needed, but if I don't feel it's needed, I don't. Oh, Radio Cruncher, yeah. Radio Cruncher never seems to finish anything off, does he? And when he does something, he never really tests it. He says, he always seems to run out of time before he has to test it. That's because he tests them off bloody camera. And if they don't work, he probably sorts them out, and then comes back on and says, yeah, it works. Whereas me, I prefer to be honest and test on camera. If it goes bang, like we had a bit of a bang yesterday, okay, everyone's done it. If it goes bang, it goes bang. If it works, it works. But if you're confident in yourself, then you got an idea, you got a bloody better than average idea it's going to work anyway. If you're confident in your own ability, which I am, and you're confident you've done everything right and you've done all the checks, and then done all the checks to make sure the checks are right, you know. I already got stuck in my tooth. But yeah, when all said and done, like I say, if I do something and it's gonna be a multi-parter, then I generally say 4.7 UF will work in that. 4.7. will work. 0.47, sorry. .47 at 50 volts. That will work in that. Put that, just shove that back in there. But yeah, at the end of the day, bloody hell, get in there. There we go, that'll do. Right, let's move the phone. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if you're going to say that you're going to do a two-parter, do a two-parter. But if you have to halfway through, if you realise that you can get it done and it can be a single-parter, then that's what you do. You know? Should we test him, see what he comes out at? It looks like he's coming out of his can, to be honest. He's about to hatch out, doesn't he? He's a bit crappy looking, but then again, he could have been made like that. Yeah. Or he could have got a bit hot. I've dropped him. I've no chance of finding him now. Where have you gone? He landed down here somewhere. Ah! Shit. Nope, can't see him. Oh well. We'll never know. Disappeared, he landed down here, hit something and disappeared. Oh well. So what we'll do, we'll... Oh, shit. Right, so let's get him in. And he goes onto the valve. He goes there and he goes there. So where's my little curly pliers? There they are. Because I don't like to solder onto valve sockets. Are we seeing what I'm doing? Are we in the zone? That'll do. Do the bottom one. Oops. Put a loop in it. That'll do. Let's measure this for the distance. We're not going to measure for, or let's just make sure it's the correct value. 0.47, yeah, because it's a 0.5 that came out. So and these discs, they very rarely fail. Let's get this toilet paper. See, the toilet paper does come in handy for something. You never know when you need a toilet roll. I remember I was in a public toilet once and this skeleton was in the cubicle next door to me. He says, "Pass me the bog roll." I said, "Get off your bony arse and get it yourself." There we go. That's a nice mechanical secure joint. Pick up the solder. There we go. Then this one. We're going to clip that there. There we go. Just turn this one round a bit so we can, there we go, get it into there. And we're not going to use the curly pliers for this one. We're just going to pull it round. There we go, solder that into place. Got that. Make sure that we're not. Right, so what we'll do now, we'll bring that get behind them pins there. There we go. And that's it. And that one there. Yeah, we're good. There you go. Yep, that's perfect. Give you a quick look. Let's go to camera 4. We'll look at the chat again in a minute. There we go. There we go. That's our capacitor soldered on. So just when I thought I was going to go, I didn't. I ended up doing another job that I was able to do. And that's another one ticked off the list for tomorrow. Put the bog roll back over there. Ooh. What I'd like to get is a webcam that zooms in or that focuses automatically. I don't think you can get them. They're either fixed focus or you have to adjust them. I'd like to get one that zooms in actually. If I could find webcams that zoomed in and focused, I'd get rid of all these camcorders because I won't need them. Right. Let's check the chat, shall we? Mmm. Oh, you mean radio, TV, phone or not? Yeah. I don't watch much of his content. I know who you mean, yeah. Oh yeah, you got that I think it was an HMV, wasn't it? A UK spec one. No, American record players are not very well made. The sound, we've got sound. Oh, what I do, if anybody comes, I mute the, apart from say like the Mildred or someone who's used to being on video, having a voice, someone who's not bothered. If people are not bothered about having themselves recorded, I won't mute the sound. But some people don't like to be on video via voice or images, so I just muted the sound. You've got record players of this kind still in boxes from eBay sellers you bought 6 years ago. Never got round to unboxing many goodies yet. Oh, you want to get into them? Do some videos on them. I have so much here, but it's all cost money, and I'm not throwing money away. Quite right. Bush seemed to be the most popular brand of record players of the days gone by. Bush and Murphy. Bush and Murphy record players were so common. Well, they were pretty well made, weren't they? Bush and Murphy, they were all right. I mean, every time I get an SRP of any description, a Bush SRP, no matter what it is, they fly out the door. I'm lucky. I'm unlucky if they're here a week. Does Mildred still have his jukebox? Yes, he does. And I have very little to do with them, because what he's got is crocks of shit nobody else wants. So I have very little to do with Mildred's jukeboxes. Anyway, let's make up our wire for this resistor, shall we? And then we can not worry about it then. Got a couple of wires hanging off that. I'll nick a piece of that. Nick a piece of that. That'll do the job. Absolutely. There we go. Do 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 do. Let's try clean this up. It looks disgusting. There we go. Go. I'll find a bit of heat shrink. There's some on the floor somewhere. Well, there should be a piece on the bench. I chopped a piece in half earlier. No, I know what you're saying. Psychedelic xylophone. I don't like throwing things away either. I mean, put that around that. That'll do. I remember when I was a kid, my dad saying, "Who's been using all this toilet roll?" He used to say. He says, "I've only just put that roll in there." He says, "I may as well wipe my arse on £5 notes," he said. Yeah, he was dead laid back, me dad. I mean, one of the neighbours ran into his Daimler as she was reversing out of her drive. And she knocked on. She says to me, "Mum," she says, "can I have a..." She didn't know my dad's name. She said, "Can I have a word with your husband?" She says, "I've gone and done a terrible thing, you know." So my dad said, "Who is it?" He says, "It's Miriam." He said, "She wants to speak to you." He said, "Well, let the lady in then." Anyway, and she says, "What's your name?" He says, "Jack." She said, "I'm sorry, Jack." She said, "I've just reversed out my drive and run into your Daimler." He said, "Don't worry, love." He says, "Where are you going now?" She said, "I'm going to work." So he says, "Right." He said, "Well, don't be late." He said, "Get yourself off to work." He said, "Don't worry about the car." He said, "That's what we have insurance for." He says, come and see me after you finish work and we'll deal with it." That's how he was, my dad. I'm the same. What's the point in crying over it? You know? Can I get that through that hole? Probably not. No. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have got it through. There we are. That's our node resistor. Sorry, not node resistor, surge limiter. That's her boyfriend turning up. Be a case of things that go bump in the night in a bit. Not that it bothers me. Right, put that. There we go. How come that wire there has now suddenly decided it doesn't want? There we go. We'll drill a hole through that tomorrow. And we'll solder that into place. Sorry, not solder, we'll screw that into place. And we can fit the amp back in. And that's all. We've got to do the rectifier. I'll need to find a bridge that'll go in here. Should have one somewhere. If not, I'll have to just restuff it. But I'm pretty convinced that that's going to be alright. Yep. Yep. And that is correct. And that is, yep, because well, actually it is a node resistor, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because it came off. Yeah, because it came off this side here, came off the red. I'm not checking it, I'm just looking, but I definitely know it did. So we've got that wire there. Yep. Yeah, there's the wire there. Look, if I shove the soldering iron tip through that, there we go. Yep. That's the lead for the resistor, and then you've got the other lead for the wire. Yep. So that's how it went. I knew that anyway, but anyway, let's see the chat, because we'll be going in a minute. We've got 8 people there. Thank you very much, Psychedelic Xylophone. Good evening, Mark. Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, we're all okay. Yeah, it probably is good for about 4 watts with an ECL86 in it, yeah. Probably not a bad amp, is it really? I mean, you know, we've done him, we've done these just need to be fitted down. Just a shame that it's a bit late to get the drill out. I'm not waking her baby up upstairs, don't like doing that. But we're going to drill and we're going to fasten that to there and then bring an extra ground, so that if it ever comes loose, which it shouldn't, but if it, because I will put shake-proof washers on as well. But we'll find a bridge to put in there tomorrow. It's not bad really, is it? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, folks, and I'm going to do what I normally want to do, and that is, well, tidy this workbench up, I think, tonight. That's what we're up to tonight, and you know, that's pretty much it. There's a few videos that come up on a Monday. Oh, I see, what's his name put another video up this morning, didn't he? Or late, early hours, or late last night. All the gear, no idea. Chris put a video up from a few of the bits he found at Goldborn. Nice to see a video from him. Absolutely. Yeah. There we go. Who's Simone? Simone. Yeah, I'll buy that for $1. Yeah, absolutely. Priceless. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. And you all have a good night. Let's turn the soldering iron off. You all have a good night. And join me tomorrow night. And I'll probably be live. We'll get this thing finished and knocked on the head, and then we can have a look what Peter brought for me to do. He brought an inverter for me to have a look at. It doesn't work. I'll see if I can get it working for him. Doesn't matter. He said it doesn't matter whether I do or not, but I'd like to get it working. He's alright with me. And he brought me a record player, a nice old thing. So we'll have a look at that later and see what that, well, we'll have a look at that when this is done. And I've had a look at his inverter. Well, then we'll have a look at that and we'll see where we get on. Anyway, you all take it easy and join me for the next one, which will be tomorrow night, because we're going to do live editions of this. We'll do it tomorrow night, do live edition, get it done and dusted. And Steve's coming up this way one day this week, so he's going to pick these up and his mate's going to come and get them from him. So that's how it's going to be done. You all take it easy, folks, and have a good evening, what's left of it, and I will catch you tomorrow night. Let's just go to all views as I normally do just before I go to the introduction card. Camera 3 has frozen, but it doesn't matter. Camera 2 hasn't for a while. Right, I'm going to leave it there, and I will be about the same time tomorrow night. Thank you once again, folks, and good night, and God bless.